I do. Yeah, I decided to come out front to do another one here. This is the last of 3 beers I got from Tony Maass out in Northern California. He sent me 3 from Russian River. The Pliny, the Pliny the Elder, the classic. The STS Pilsner, which was absolutely beautiful. And this one here, the Salvation, described as a strong dark ale on their website. Although their website lists it at 9%, the bottle has it at 9.5%. I found when there's been discrepancies, the bottle is typically right. This was bottled on 10 of 14, but this is a strong dark ale. I'm not worried about some age on this one. I'm just not. I even don't worry. I know it's the real cool hipster thing to say that you don't want to drink IPAs past 90 days. This thing these days, I think that's a just incredibly ridiculous thing to say. The origin of the style was they were meant to last a long period of time. They're not going bad on you. They may change from what the brewers initially intended it to taste like, but they're not going bad. That being said, I'm not having an IPA. Just that mentality bugs me. I'm having this Salvation from Russian River. See, I got it on the brain now. Unfortunately, that poor Pliny bought the farm on the way to me. Moment of silence. But sometimes that happens. I'm going to read just a touch from their bottle here. Salvation, deliverance from the power or penalty of sin, redemption. The agent or means that brings about such deliverance. What's in a name? Apparently a lot. When a local restaurant expressed interest in putting one of our beers on their list, we gladly said yes. Herein lies the problem. We attempted to time damnation. They refused the order, citing religious reasons. Oddly enough, they asked us to return with one of our redemption, sanctification, or the very beer inside this bottle, Salvation. Okay, we are assuming they will not be taking perdition either. I get it, that's funny. Shit. People, right? This handcrafted ale is dark brown in color with notes of dark fruit and spice. In both aroma and flavor. Salvation is fermented in this bottle to create a fine carbonation. Spent yeast cells form a thin layer of sediments in the bottom of the bottle. I'm losing it, man. At the bottom of the bottle, adding more complexity and flavor. Pour slowly and allow natural sediment to remain in the bottle. Yes, that's kind of what I did here. As you can see, yeah, it's kind of a very pretty, almost, I guess they say brown, but I'm going to say it's almost a ruby color. They describe it as, they use Belgian yeast. They call it a strong dark ale. It almost resembles a double, but they just call it a strong dark ale. They say to look for spicy notes from the Belgian yeast. Also look for flavors of chocolate and raisin, I believe, is what it said on their website. Yeah, there are some spicy notes, and I'm getting the chocolate and raisin on the nose without a doubt. Yeah, they call it a strong dark ale. I'm not sure why they don't call it a double, because it certainly feels like a Belgian-style double. Yeah, wow, that's nice. It has a certain kind of a brown sugar sweetness early on. Kind of a dark, very dark molasses brown sugar. They say on the website, I just remembered as I tasted this, that it has a dry finish. That it does. It has a very dry finish. Very pleasant dry finish. It's because of that fine carbonation, kind of champagne-like. Yeah, I said brown sugar sweetness. It really isn't sweet. It's almost like a... How do I explain this? Almost more of like the feel or the essence of brown sugar. I think that sounded pretentious, didn't it? I hate when they do that, man. But yeah, I mean, it's not like a mouthful of brown sugar, but it's like kind of that, that aroma, that feeling of brown sugar more so than just taking a bite of brown sugar. But, drink it, maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm getting some very dark chocolate in there mixed with the raisin that they say to look for as well. And then it just dries up beautifully. There are some spice notes that kind of intermingles throughout it all. and just kind of settles in the finish on you. It's a beautiful beer. Yeah, I mean, Dale Roberts sent me my very first bottle of Pliny the Elder last year. It was beautiful. Tony was sending me my second bottle. Unfortunately, about the farm. But the STS Pilsner, which I hadn't had before, and the Salvation made it. So I was very glad to receive both of those from him. I sent him kind of a mixed box of Ozark beers, so I hope he enjoyed all of them in the trade. I think, there are some, you hear a lot of negative about social media, and there certainly are some social media bullies, and there certainly is some negative. But there's a lot of positive, too. I've met a lot of folks from social media, that a handful anyway, that I met in person and were very nice. John Sharon and Stuart Picard, just to name a couple. But there's many others. Tony, John, the Brew Guru, Dale Roberts, Dave Coulter, many others that have sent me beer, and I've sent beer back. What this allows us to do is try beers that we normally wouldn't have. If social media didn't exist, I wouldn't know of this beer unless I was reading some trade magazine of some sort. And I might have, but the odds are that I would say a good portion of a lot of the beers I've tried over the last 4 years I wouldn't have even known about had there not been social media. A lot of these that I've gotten a hold of through trade. Some of them I just heard about and then kind of sought them out and found them at various places in my travels. But a lot of them I just would have never heard about had there not been social media. So for all the negative you hear about social media, there certainly is some positive in that I'm able to drink more, and that's a good thing, right? Everybody wants Tom to drink more, man. The world is fine now, and we're glad you're drinking, Tom. Everything's good now, you sons of... Anyways, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. This is a great beer, Tony. I'm glad you sent it to me. It is complex, yet it is still very enjoyable. And I'm noticing as I'm letting it warm up even more, I had it in the fridge, but let it warm up for about 15 minutes before I popped her, because I had a feeling. The more I'm letting it warm up, the more those flavors, the more the aroma, the bouquet is just popping out of this bad boy. So again, thanks Tony, and thanks everybody that has helped the Beer Whisperer along.